Salutations everyone, this is of course your financial commander Sergeant LL, and today we're going to be diving again into the world of airdrops, and instead of having a chain specific video we're going to be having an assorted one. So I guess we could call this sort of like a mid-month coverage or a weekly recap of airdrops. And the big things that have conspired this week obviously is the Dimension airdrop, which started out like around like $4. That was the speculated price obviously on OTC markets, and right now we have even like crossed over $8 in the last couple of days. So it's really nice to see it being grown, and there's a lot of people obviously staking it for potential new airdrops coming out very soon. Another thing that has also launched is the ZK EVM version of IMX, and that's what we're going to be covering out next on a specific video. It's kind of crazy how much it has grown because of this update, but I guess it's a big milestone for the team, so remains to be seen how IMX will be doing, but there's definitely going to be some form of airdrops happening out there. And then obviously we had the announcement of Wormhole Airdrop Snapshot basically being taken, and who were eligible, like I predicted on my video back in December, that D-Gods and also youths holders would be getting the part of the airdrop, and I was right about that estimation, so congratulations for people who listened on my call. And also the bridges that are using the wormhole technology have not taken their snapshots yet. So you might still interact with those, but the main bridge, the portalbridge.com and the wormhole, is basically set in stone. There's probably going to be multiple phases, like they're going to be maybe giving cash back out of the gas fees done with the bridge and stuff like that after the thing launches. And also, in case you want to be up to date with the latest airdrops, obviously check out my spreadsheet, which can be found on the description down below. But let's get started on what we have here cooking out. So the newest, biggest trend probably actually is these Bitcoin layer 2s or Bitcoin EVMs. So we had Satoshi VM, now we have the Merlin network, and we have B2 network, and then there's BVM. So a lot of people are trying to, I'm kind of surprised that nobody did try this before, because it made a lot of sense to me to just like have a bridge between Ethereum and Bitcoin, and then use Bitcoin as the the currency instead of Ethereum on the layer. Obviously it's always going to be a bit more expensive, but it's going to be doing more opportunities and things like that. And the B2 squared is having two different campaigns. So I guess we could start out with the Odyssey. And Odyssey is basically a program where you can do a couple of different tasks inside a testnet environment. There's things like inviting people to a referral program. There's Discord and Telegram and Twitter things. Depositing BTC into their testnet. So that is a big one. Withdrawing BTC from the B2 testnet into Bitcoin's own testnet. And then there's the referral thing, and things that have come out since I've last interacted with this is Maison. And Maison is a bridge which doesn't have a token yet, so I've talked about it a couple of times in the channel before, that Maison is something you might want to interact with because they don't have a token yet. And they have a couple of quests here, doing swaps and depositing USDT and USDC. And then there is another like AMM exchange already built on B2 network called Glow Swap. So these are getting you extra points, and I recommend basically interacting with all of these in order to be eligible for the eventual B2 network airdrop. And then there is the Buzz, and the Buzzer is basically a mining thing. I have not really dived into too much into this, so you can like build out your own mining crew, and you have like this bridging opportunity, and you're gonna be like, I guess when you deposit, you're going to be getting these mining rig parts, and these mining rig parts can be assembled, which basically increase your hashing rate. That's how I gathered how this basically works out on a very short look, because once again, I haven't really done too much of like explaining about. But here is like the timeline here, doing the rigs, and the withdrawals will be enabled on April. And so I guess this is like Stakestone is involved with his this thing. It's not with Eigenlayer, which is a sad thing, but I mean there's too many Eigenlayer projects as of right now. And obviously, you know, this is, you know, if you have money to put around, maybe this thing is for you. Then we have another Bitcoin layer 2 called BVM, named after my home city, Helsinki. And they have a couple of different things here. You can follow them on Twitter and Discord, and you will be getting points. There's an invite system. You can invite people in, and you'll be getting points. And then there's a bunch of different quests that you can do. You know, like doing bridging. There's a Galax quest. There's a lot of dApps already here. We have Mason again, by the way. And inscriptions, All2 Finance. We have talked about that in a million videos. And they are also basically having out a potential airdrop as well. So that's another one that you want to potentially interact with. And more points obviously gets you probably more airdrop, as we gathered. Then moving on, we have Nibiru. This one had a sale on CoinList, one of the biggest pre-sale platforms that I've showed on the channel multiple times, and usually they have very, very good performances. I did miss on the Nibiru sale, but now they have social media tasks of basically tweeting about Nibiru with the hashtag. So basically the same thing as Portal and Streak. I'm not a big fan of this format, guys, and probably a lot of you don't have that many Twitter followers, so it's not very convenient to do this quest, because it's kind of hard, but I guess you can spam around and hope you don't get banned. But basically, there's Nibi points you will be getting. There's going to be more things. I'm not going to be logging in right now because I got logged in with a different account, but basically there are other things than Twitter stuff, and they're going to be adding more in the future. So there's going to be more ways to interact outside from the Twitter spamming and following the accounts and things like that. So it's kind of like activity based, and it's kind of there created to create buzz around the project. And I guess it's a good marketing thing, but it's kind of short lived. It doesn't really bring a lot of retention in that sense. Then we have Tabby, and this is an old airdrop, but it's still ongoing. And there's a couple of different things. There's this Sailor drop, which is like a Reddit thing, which you need to connect to a Reddit account. And then there's an invite quest, and then there's a Sailor quest, which is just social media stuff. And that's it. And you basically get these chests, and these chests are eventually going to be giving you Tabby. Tabby did announce not too long ago, like a week ago, that they are going to be IBC chain. We might do a separate video on Tabby at a later point, but in order to be eligible for Tabby, it's probably good to do these quests and also stake out some Cosmos IBC coins, and those are going to be part of the criteria most likely. So this is going to be, after this IBC announcement, I'm more bullish on this project because they are introduced in an ecosystem which is very friendly towards the interchains. Like EVMs are not exactly in this sort of big harmony with each other. They're very much competing with each other, while as in IBC, there's a lot more intercommunication and like co-working. Then we have Medis, which is a project by Vitalik's mother. And this has already their own token, but they have now started out what they call the decentralization phase. Season 1 has ended, and now currently is Season 2 going on. And I guess, you know, when you have these big VC coins, the chances like, yeah, I mean, there might be a lot of value behind it, but there may not be community and dApps. ETC is probably a great example. There's no dApps in Ethereum Classic right now. It's totally dead chain, and it's all on the VC's hands, and the VCs are like wash trading it basically. And that's the existence of that chain. And Medis is kind of like the same, that I feel like it doesn't have a big community behind it. It's not a big community. And that's why they're doing this airdrop thing, decentralization, to basically build out a community, because VCs are not a community. That's not a user base. Those are just the backholders. And you have to actually change into that. This is on Metis Sepolia, so you can buy out these spins, but when you actually put out some numbers here, it actually kind of bugs out. So you get a lot of errors. So it's kind of I have to say this website is very poorly done. And you can claim test tokens. This is going to be actually getting you points. You interact with a Telegram bot, very easy, very easy. And then there is this Enki thing, which is basically a liquid staking platform. I haven't really figured out like how I'm exactly going to be able to turn my Medis into e-Medis, but it's interesting, and this is obviously part of the airdrop, so you want to be interacting with this, you want to also interact with the Sepolia testnet with Enki. Moving on, we have Haven 1, another interesting layer 1 project. They have a testnet phase, which have they started. Very simple quests. Basically, an invite quest is available, and then they also have a Zeely page, which has a lot of different testnet quests. So once again, free to do for everybody. So if you're looking for things to do and don't want to spend any money, this is another one that you want to interact with. There are a couple of things that are already being built out in terms of applications, and we're probably going to be having in a week's time of like a dedicated video to Haven 1. I'm waiting for more things to be live to do a more closer look into this whole thing, but a lot of things are still in the phases, so I don't know how far this airdrop is actually going to be at. And then another very, very big VC project. I think they have raised over 20 million, 30 million or something, called Partia. And Partia is right now doing an airdrop program, which is very, very underfarmed. 7,000 users, guys. 7,000. Some Galaxy missions have millions of users. So this is very under the radar. Nobody's talking about this. And it's pretty simple to do. Only thing you need to do is to bridge money to the Partia chain. Basically, using a MetaMask, you create your own MPC wallet. And, well, right now, because I don't have MetaMask on this browser, I can't show you, but it's like pretty simple stuff. And I think you can like get like tokens or something, and then you can stake them or something between those lines. And this is kind of like a project that seems quite promising to me, honestly. It could be, you know, quite a prominent new technology. So I definitely recommend people to take a look at this. And it's very underfarmed. 7,000 accounts is nothing. It's nothing. The bots are going to be here soon, though. So who knows how, you know, long it takes. But hey, being in the first 10,000 might give you a perk. And then we have Massa Finance, and this is another which has multitude of different quests. Seems to be pretty popular. 88,000 already involved with this one. I mean, all these ones that are basically referral based, you know, tend to have a bit more users. That kind of comes with the territory. And there are a multitude of different quests, and these are happening on Binance. And it seems to be lagging for the website. It seems to be kind of cranky here right now. And there are a multitude of different quests available here. I think there's a couple of social media quests. Then there's like things like minting your own domain. So soul names, as they are called in Massa. This is not to be compared with Massa with 2 S's. This is Massa. So two different things. So this one is also something I recommend doing. Then I do want to remind people about Rabbi Wallet, wallet-based airdrops. If you're already using MetaMask, I've said very many times on the channel that MetaMask is absolute dog shit product, and you should always change it to something else because they have more features like Rabbi, OKX Wallet, BitGet, and OKX Wallet. I think I said all 4. And Rainbow is obviously amazing. It's a bit behind the others, but Rabbi allows you to basically import your MetaMask seed phrase into the thing, and by signing up, you're going to be getting like 100 points or something, and those points are going to be accumulating into an eventual airdrop. I don't know when it's going to be happening, and basically doing swaps and gas top-ups on the wallet will get you points, and those points are obviously going to be getting you the eventual airdrop. Using the code LIGHTLiger as your referral code, you will be getting extra points, and I will be getting extra points. So please do that. And then we have our very final project here on the list called Puffer, and the Puffer is basically the latest entry on the list of what are the Eigenlayer projects. And there's a couple of ways to get Eigenlayer points here. Let me mute this because this site actually has music and it's annoying. And you can refer people here. You can deposit Ethereum, and you're getting obviously Eigen points by depositing your Ethereum. And there's going to be like different types of badges and quests coming out soon. Puffer is likely going to be one of the largest. I think it's going to be like Puffer, Kelp, EtherFi, Renzo, and then there's this new one called, I think it's called Clay something, Clay Stack. I mean, we might as well feature this also on this list, given the fact that we are already this far in the video. So there's a lot of competition between these Eigenlayer things, and a very important thing, guys. One thing I want to say before we quit this video is that there is a bit of a potential problem with this restaking culture, because they are pegged on something. So the pegs could crash. Like the pegs literally could crash. Not in the same way as Luna, but like this is a problem. Like, you know, they are backed by something, but like it's like I can see potential problems coming out with these restaking platforms at some point. So we got to be really careful about going too ham on this technology, and that's kind of like problematic. But let's see how it turns out. But Clay Stack is the latest one, you know, casting their thing in the race. So that's basically what we have to cover here today, and I will be seeing you in the next video, which is probably about Immutable. I probably have a sponsored video or two coming out, non-airdrop related, I guess. So we're gonna have some change in the things, people who don't like airdrops, but whatever. But thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more. Subscribe to the channel, and you can find me at Telegram and Discord, and you can find a lot of information there about latest airdrops and memes and whatever. Okay, quitting out here. Cheers.